Hey, what's up, Lightbolt Joe here. Today we are going to discuss the entirety and legacy of Will and Grace. So Will and Grace came out in 1998. It ran for 8 seasons, was on hiatus, came back in 2017. Great, it wasn't on hiatus, it ended. But then it came back in 2017, and then it just ended a little while ago, beginning of 2020. Had over, 246 episodes, something like that. I think my favorite point, first of all, Michael Angarano playing Elliot, Jack's son Elliot, throughout the entirety of the 20-something years, the 22 years. I love that he came back for a guest appearance. I love that he's been acting since he was a kid and that he's still doing a bunch of stuff. He does a lot of indie stuff, but he was just as Stripper Steve in my all-time favorite episode of Dollface, episode 5, Beauty Queen. I can't get over the fact that Stripper Steve is actually Elliot. So Jack is played by Sean Hayes. Megan Mullally is Cat. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Karen Walker. Eric McCormick is Will Truman, and Grace Adler is played by Deborah Messing. So those are your big four. Like I said, Elliot is played by Mike. He pops in here and there. Rosie O'Donnell is in the episode. One episode representing his mom. There's a lot of history between all the characters. There's a lot of backstory. There's a lot of who slept with who when. I just find it very interesting, the little tidbits. Karen never eats anything in the entirety of the 9, 10, 11 seasons. She does not eat anything. She drinks constantly. She pops pills constantly. That's her character, but she never eats anything. She'll suck on an olive, but that's it. Also, the way that they handled Rosie's character was very nice. The actress herself retired, but she only passed away recently. So the passing away was quite sad because you've grown with this character, you love this character. Rosie married Jack to get a green card way back in the beginning of the series, and to have her not come back and then actually pass away and have a passing away episode was really, really heartbreaking. It was very devastating to have to say goodbye. But also have Karen say goodbye, because Rosie was always that rock, through thick or thin. Yes, she fired her 1,000 times, and they fought constantly, but it was their means of communication and love and understanding, stuff like that. There's stuff I really love about this series. There's stuff I really don't like about this series. I think Woody Harrelson is playing as Nathan is my favorite relationship of Grace's. I hate the relationship of Leo. Can't stand it. She marries him after, 3 months of knowing him. He cheats on her when he's away with Doctors Without Borders. And then they wind up hooking up on an airplane because they both happen to be traveling to London at the same time. And she's actually pregnant with his kid, right? But, now remember, that's how the first series went. The second bit kind of erased half of season 8 with a amnesia-driven, drunken, pill-popped state of Karen. That was all in Karen's mind kind of thing. So certain things didn't happen, certain things did happen. But I just didn't like Leo's character at all. I thought he was trash for what Grace was, trying to be. I really like Woody Harrelson's character. I like David Schwimmer's character, come the bringing the revival bit of it. And then, again, she winds up getting pregnant by some random guy in Italy, doesn't want to know who the father is, and decides to raise her child with Will, as originally intended in the original series. And Will wants to have a child as well, so he hires a surrogate who happens to be Demi Lovato. So the end of the series is the two of them buying a house upstate and both having their kids. And they're all raising their kids in this house upstate. That's how it ends. So it's a cute way of them meeting in college, having 2 rooms across from each other in the dorm, to have, she has the gay best friend, he has the gay best friend hag. They don't say the term fag hag anymore. The word fag is not a thing anymore. But back in the 90s and the early 2000s, it was still said. Now, you say that, and it's just shunned. You're eradicated from the face of the earth. You don't exist. You can't say these things anymore. And it's neat to have the characters kind of divulge into that there's certain things that don't happen anymore because of political correctness, because people have matured and evolved, etc., etc. I don't like the character of Will, and I don't like the character of Grace. They are too overdramatic, and they bitch about everything. And I think it's fun at the end of season 8 when Jack and Karen, who are the greatest characters, hands down, when Jack and Karen both kind of look at each other and both say, aren't they exhausting? Like, yeah, he's just so bitchy, or yeah, she's so bitchy, aren't they exhausting? It's just very entertaining because these are over-the-top characters. I get it. It's a stage production. I get it. But that's not how people act in real life. It's not. It's weird, but it's not. So I think it's important to see the gradual progression of these characters, of these stories, because the characters in the 90s are not the characters they were in the 2000s, who are definitely not the characters they are in the 2010s, who are definitely not the characters they are now present in the 2020s. So to have a series transfer from 90s, 2000s, 2010s to 4 different decades, having a footprint in 4 different decades is astounding. I mean, every single one of the 4 actors won Emmys for this. Bobby Cavalier won an Emmy for his role as Vince, who was one of Will's greatest relationships, but Will bitches constantly and is just so OCD and dramatic and cringe. That's the best way to modernize Will's character, is cringe. And I felt so bad for Vince on so many different times, and especially when I don't remember what it was, season 10, I think, or 9, when they bring Vince's character back because Vince has a wedding, and he invited Will and Grace to the wedding, and he literally says to Will, "You never liked me. You just would critique everything about me. You didn't like me." And I thought that was appropriate to say, because Will was not kind at all. You know, especially when the first time they broke up was Vince just lost his job, and he was just like being a lazy couch potato for like 2 months, and Will was just like a neurotic freak about it and broke up with Vince when his life is shattered. So I didn't like that part. The parts that I do like about those particular characters, Will and Grace, Wag, as Karen states many, many times, is how they are codependent. It's messy, but it works. It's weird, but it works for them. But sometimes it affects other people. Like, they drove their friends Ellen and Rob away, and Larry and Joe are like driven away kind of too. Like, it's weird having such those strong relationships, friendships in the beginning of the series, and then they just kind of trickle as time goes on. While we're talking about trickling, we're going back to Elliot's character. I love how Jack was a sperm donor when he was 17 and he wanted $50 to get a leather jacket. That's the only reason why Elliot exists. It's because Jack wanted a leather jacket at 17. So Elliot finds paperwork about his sperm donor, because he knows he's a test tube kid, and he wants to meet his real dad. So he meets Jack. Again, Sean Hayes did a fantastic job with the character of Jack, and him marrying Esteban at the end was very adorable, I must say that. So it's interesting having Elliot be a prominent character in parts of the earlier seasons and then disappear for quite some time, and then pop up randomly and then disappear for quite some time. The last time we see Elliot in the original 8-season run is when all of them go to Los Angeles because he needs to tour the campus of UCLA. And there's father-son moments, and the Thanksgiving episodes of Elliot coming up with them all to visit different family members were adorable. But then we don't see Elliot again until he's a grown-up and he has his own kid, and his wife's a homophobe, and his son happens to be gay, and Grandpa Jack, it's called Grandpa Jack, so it's, you know, instilling the love and acceptance, and, you know, you are who you are, and be proud of it, and things of that nature, and the hell with everyone else. So it was nice having Elliot come back into the picture, having another heart-to-heart with Jack because of that acceptance bit. I just wish they gave it more. You know, sometimes they had Jack just be a dick about having a son, but then other times it was Jack literally loving the fact that he had a son. So, I don't know, it was kind of wishy-washy, that there was no consistency on that front. And it's unfortunate, because Mike did a great job as Elliot. I will praise Mike for as long as I can. He's older than me by, what, 3 years, something like that, and he's, like I said, he's been doing a lot of work, and I'm quite proud to see him as a kid actor doing so many things as he's gotten older and staying sane in the process. You never see him in the news or anything like that, nothing on social media that would indicate a monster, which is cool. But That's my only little strife with the Elliot Jack relationship. I would have wanted more solidness about it. I'd loved. Trying to think. What else should we say? I love the character of Karen is the best character of the entire show, without a doubt. Megan did a fantastic job with Karen, and Karen has specific traits. She has a specific song, la ba da dee be da, right? And then she'll go, "Honey, what's going on?" Or she'll add to that, "Honey, what's going on? What's happening? What are you wearing?" But while holding a drink. I don't have a drink. Let's pretend this ball is my drink. "Honey, what's going on? What's happening? What are you wearing?" But higher pitched, in a squeaky voice. Karen is the most real person in the entire series, because she is so blunt and honest about what she needs to express. If you're wearing something hideous, she'll tell you. If you're being a pain in the ass, she'll tell you. She'll put people in check. It's because she has millions and millions and millions of dollars. So it was nice seeing her grow as characters. That the fact that she did actually want a kid of her own. She didn't like her stepchildren, but she did want a kid of her own. Things of that nature. Her fighting with Minnie Driver all the time because she married her husband at one point was revenge and just hysterical, because Minnie Driver was with her husband Stan for various points. Stan faking his death was quite interesting. Alec Baldwin playing the character of Malcolm, trying to win Karen's character, was quite entertaining. Leslie Jones, actually, as Beverly Leslie, he is so perfect. And the fact that he translates so well into American Horror Story, who would have thought? I am obsessed with that man. I am so happy that he did such a great job with Beverly. It's really great seeing all of these things come about, and him popping up at the end of the series as well too was pretty fun. What else? Okay, my favorite episodes. The dinner party scene at Grace and Leo's, when they invite Leo's ex Diane, who happens to be the only girl that Will actually slept with. Oh my God, the tyrannical roaring of everyone for various moments was absolutely perfect. Okay. The 2 Thanksgiving episodes, they always have great Thanksgiving episodes. Not many shows can do a Thanksgiving episode. I know The Middle can do damn good Thanksgiving episodes. Friends can do damn good Thanksgiving episodes. And Will and Grace can do damn good Thanksgiving episodes. Iconic. You had a literally back-to-back episode. It was part 1 and part 2. Thanksgiving at Vince's parents' house, right? And Vince's sister Ro is getting married to this guy Matt, and she realizes she's a lesbian because she's obsessed with Renee Zellweger, and she wants to come out. And Will is making the Thanksgiving dinner because he inadvertently broke Vince's mom's toe while they were going shopping or something like that. So it was this whole redemption story, but at the same time, Will and Karen are trying to sleep with what's his name? With Vince's cousin Sal, but it turns out Sal's actually 16, and they didn't know that. And it's so entertaining having all of these things come about, and literally who's trying to sleep with who when, and who has big announcements, and who's trying to prove what, and what love is around the table. And that's what Annette is finally saying. There's so much love around the table. Perfect. The 2 live episodes they did, the one with Jack having to draw on that eyebrow, and the birthday party in Karen's bathroom, hysterical. Those are my top 4 episodes right there. For definitely stand out, the ones that I laughed the most at, the ones that I will always laugh at anytime I watch. Hysterical. There's always, of course, iconic moments. I think what's also important is, of course, and everyone has said this numerous times, it is a great representation having LGBTQ plus characters on the screen. This is the first show that, aired 2 males kissing. Having Jack and Will kiss in front of Al Walker was hysterical. But, yeah, I mean, it was a groundbreaking show. It is familiar, and everyone is comfortable with it, because that's why it did so successful coming back. That's why everyone wanted more, to see more of these characters. And to eradicate a good half of the final season, having it just being a drunken stupor of Karen, made perfect sense. She was just high. It's just what happens. I wish things were a little bit different here and there, as I kind of expressed, but I'm just talking on a story front. This has such a cultural impact that who would have thought all of these different celebrities had to be on it, all these different people that became something because of it. There was two recastings that were in it. Grace's dad was recasted, and Will's brother Sam was recasted during the course of the series. I didn't like that, but scheduling conflicts, I don't know. If I'm nitpicking here. What else? What else? I think that's it. I talked about it a lot. Will and Grace is a fantastic series. I used to only watch it when I was sick. Like if I was home from school, I was sick. Oh, all right. This is a good little snippet too. 2006 is when the season 8 finale was, right? Which was the series finale back then. That was what, May 2006? So January 2006, January 20th, 2006. That's when High School Musical first premiered on the Disney Channel. And the world changed from then. As far as I'm concerned, pop culture changed on January 20th, 2006. There ain't no getting around it. That's just how it is. So I had three school theater friends at the time, because I did not do any stage productions outside of the school until November 2006. But I was auditioning and rehearsing, I don't know, August? July 2006? I forget. I honestly forget. So this particular finale viewing, this viewing party, was my first viewing party. I've never done a viewing party before. I was very excited to hang out with these three friends. I don't talk nor see them anymore. It's high school. But it was important because I remember it specifically. That whole 2006 was a big turning point, a big changing year, that's for sure. Cemented of what I wanted to do, let's put it that way. So I picked up, well, I didn't drive at that point. Right? My mom picked my friend up, dropped us off at our other friend's house. The fourth friend came over. We were in this like sitting room. I don't know. It was like offset. It wasn't a living room. It wasn't a den. It was like a sitting room. I don't know. But there was a TV. So, but it had its own entrance. It was weird. So we ordered Domino's. We had this feast in front of us. We're watching the hour-long finale, and we were so mad because of the time jumps, I remember. And I was like, why are they doing this? Why are they going from 2 years to having Vince and Will with the kid Ben, and then all of a sudden it jumps, and then the two kids are in college meeting, and I was like, why? It's weird. So we were all very mad, but we accepted it, I guess. And then as time went on, and the show eventually came back, but it was still interesting because we were all cheering and oohing and eyeing and booing. It was a communal thing. I've never done a viewing party before, and then here we are years later. I've done a billion other viewing parties for The Walking Dead, Teen Wolf, many other things. And the iCarly series finale, when was that? 2012. That viewing party was hard. It was very emotional. There were so many people crammed into that living room. Oh, it was so hard. 2012? 2013? I think it was 2012. It was a rough viewing party, let me tell you. There were tears shed by all. Yeah. Good times. I think that's it. That's all I got. I talked a lot. But Will and Grace obviously has a cultural impact. It clearly had an impact on me, or else I wouldn't be talking for so long. Yeah. And thus concludes my review for NBC's original sitcom, which no one has seen the likes of it since. Iconic in its nature. Will and Grace. Mucho mahalo.